Get this bus moving. Stop.
Hey, bro. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack, Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth. To tell you the truth, there's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker. Swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Jubal if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, closed to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of two X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's Patriotic Light Lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste, perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom.
Howdy hi, and how the hell are you? And a happy spring training to you, girls and boys, here on the BCR. As we're set to bring you this game and get you ready for the boys of summer. Opening day is quickly approaching, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered out on the diamond. So kick back and relax. Grab you a cold one, as we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of radio baseball. We'll hit the lineups as the game moves on. Wherever you are, we'll take you out to the warm sunshine and the beautiful blue skies of of spring training baseball. Make sure to hit that subscribe and set the alerts, as we've got a full docket of spring baseball coming your way leading up to opening day. So with the spring in our step, the wind at our back, and the sun high in the sky, let's put it all aside and head out to the old ballpark. All right, we're back. Man, I had the dogs outside. I was checking X to see if I missed anything. Baseball world. And long story short, man, John Smoltz was getting some hate. Thank you, Uncle Charlie. Just seeing this as I'm coming back. So basically all it was Fox Media showing that they were going to do the World Baseball Classic, and they were calling their team, their broadcast team, the best in the business, or something like that. I really don't remember. John Smoltz got the majority of. Well, you can't say that if John Smoltz is on there. Like, man, what did he do to y'all? I was putting it on the Braves game off in the background to keep an eye on the score, and they changed the damn game on that, so they did the same thing we did. So give me a second, I'll try and find the Braves and Yankees as the Mariners are taking the field defensively. We'll get into their lineups as we go along here. Cleveland will be leading it off. Bryce Miller, the right-hander. I got my sound check done, so we're going to there. Yeah, I don't dislike Smoltz. I more so don't like his play-by-play guy, Joe Davis. That's the one that I get that drives me nuts. And it's just little things that he does that just, I guess they're okay for a football broadcaster, but he's doing baseball. And it's just the way he brings the game. I won't get onto that whole diatribe, but it's a strange one. That he is the guy now. And they did that because it was kind of a by default. As I can't think of the other guy's name, but the guy that's the play-by-play for the Fox football that's in the booth with
Tom Brady. They put him on football, and Buck went to ESPN, and they put this guy Davis on baseball. And he's just not my favorite listen to. I can't stand it. If I end up watching a Fox game, I always end up muting the TV because it's him. It's got nothing to do with Smoltz. And it's probably got, let's be honest, for whatever reason they don't like Smoltz. He was one of my favorite players when he played, so I'm never going to have anything bad to say about him. So here we go as we start off pitch by pitch, play by play. The Mariners and the Guardians. Bryce Miller comes set for Seattle. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in the Cactus League. And the first pitch on the way is high and out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Martinez, the batter. Righty-lefty matchup. Kicks and fires. Swing, rips it into the right field corner, and that ball is going to get down for a base hit. Deep into the right field corner, and as the ball comes into the infield, Martinez will make it around first and head to second. It's a leadoff double for the Guardians. So Bryce Miller already in trouble here. 1 on, nobody out. Kevin Burkhardt, that's who it is. Thank you, John. That's who they set football direction, and Davis they kept in baseball. First pitch swinging by Valeras. Pop back foul and out of play. It's a 1-1. It's really got to do with the fact he does over-enunciations and the way he drags words. I just don't like his description, period. But, I mean, to each his own, I guess. The 0-1 count. Kicks and fires right there at the knees. 0-2. I'm sure there's a lot of folks that hate me, so whatever. Cleveland nothing, Seattle nothing. And I always hold it a different standard because I'm looking for a radio-type broadcast. But there are some TV guys that are good in the game of baseball. Is the Miller's going to step off the bump and turn back. And I know they're told to do that on some of the things, but, let the game breathe. Don't actually describe what's going on in television. As the 0-2 pitch, swing, pops that one up. And that should be an easy can of corn over there at second base. F4 in your scorecard. 1 away. Left to right on the infield here for the Seattle Mariners. So we get things going here in game number 2 of our doubleheader. We'll take you all the way to the 5 o'clock hour. It's going to be Brendan Donovan at third, Emerson at short, Arroyo at second, and Connor Joe at first. Left to right in the outfield, it's Arozarena, Julio, and Canzone. Behind the plate, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, and Bryce Miller on the bump. Righty-righty matchup is Fry is the batter, and the runner goes, and here comes a throw down to third base, and he is out. The big dumper said, "Not my house, baby boy." He threw him out. Didn't get a particular great jump either. It was a solid throw down to third, and a good tag applied by Donovan. So 2 down now, and Fry, who's behind the plate today, is at the bat on an 0-1 count. The 0-1 swing, fouls it back. It's 0-2. Yankees lead the Braves 7-3 now, as that game is almost in the books. They're in the 8th inning. 0-2 count. Brings it, swing, bangs it down the line, foul. Do it again. Chop Shop says first round fantasy pick. Are you talking about the dumper or somebody else? The 0-2.
Swing, lifts it. High into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That should be extra bases. It is. And it's a 2-out double by Fry and the Cleveland Guardians. So getting gunned down at third on the stolen base attempt cost Cleveland a run. Instead, Fry will be standing at second with 2 outs. Charlie. Pitch on the way is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Manzardo, cleanup hitter, first baseman for Cleveland. The 1-0. Up top, about letter high for a strike, 1-1. 1-1 count. 0-0 your score. We're in the top of the first inning. Comes set, kicks and fires. And the pitch is hit high and deep into center field, drifting over, making the catch. F8 in your scorecard is old Julio down in the schoolyard, and we'll be back in a flash. 0-0 your score. The Mariners grab the sticks when we return here on the BCR.
Is Google a man or a woman?
A woman. Because it never lets you finish a sentence without making a suggestion.
Have you ever looked at Brooks Robinson's helmet and thought, what is wrong with it? In the early 1970s, the commissioner's office made it mandatory to wear a batting helmet if you were entering the league. Robinson was originally for the helmet, since he had been beamed in the head several times over his career. When he got the new helmet and put it on, he noticed that the bill was a little longer than a normal helmet. Because of this, he could see the brim and part of the flap when he went up to hit, which caused him to lose concentration at the plate. So he did what any rational player would do. He took a hacksaw and cut it off about 1.5 inches off the brim and about a 1/2 inch off the flap. The result is something that looks like it came straight out of the movie Easy Rider.
Under Austin's guidance, young flamethrowers Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale started pitching with more poise, while aging icons Duke Snider and Gil Hodges reached back for some vintage performances. Austin even got former All-Star Carl Furillo to accept a bench role and inserted Wally Moon, which would pay enormous dividends.
Wally Moon, he took advantage of that screen in left field like nobody else. Anytime he hit that screen, off the wall or over the wall, they called it a moonshot.
The Dodgers played far better than they had the season before, but they still could not seem to find the spark they needed to reach the top of the standings. Ultimately, a shortstop named Maury Wills and a pitcher named Larry Sherry would push them into contention. Both players had been languishing in the minors and had forged a special bond.
I was going so bad. And I just made a mistake, made an error in the opposition running all over the bases. And I actually left the field when the clubhouse was ripping my uniform off. I was quitting. And Larry Sherry happened to see me and came in and grabbed me, pinned me up against the wall, and said, "You can't do that. I won't let you do it." Larry Sherry saved my career.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way, righty-lefty matchup to start off the game for offensively for the Seattle Mariners. Brendan Donovan came in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's 1-0. He's at third base today. He can kind of play all over the infield as the 1-0. Swung back foul. 1-1 count. 7-3 Yankees in the 8th over the Braves. All the starters are out of the game for New York, and the Braves never had any in there. So 1-1 right there for a strike 1-2. If anything happens, we'll let you know. We've been scanning the box score. I got one of the screens in the background on the game. One-two count. Swing. Rips it down the line, foul. Left to right across the outfield for the Cleveland Guardians. Jones, Martinez, and Valera around the horn left to right. From third to first is Keyboom, Noah, Brito, and Manzardo. Fry behind the plate, and Cantillo at the bump. The southpaw misses high, 2-2. See everybody joining here in the chat, flipping over. That's what we're trying to do in the spring training games. When the starters go out, we just try to go find something that's a little more entertaining. Is the 2-2 slices it foul. We got some radio stations that wanted to pick these up, so that's why we're doing it 1-3 and then 3-5. A lot of their drive time shows kick off around 5 o'clock, so we shut it down. The 2-2 pops it up high in the sky, and coming in and making the running catch, F7 in your scorecard for out number 1, and that'll bring Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, to the plate. Doing quite a few of these double headers, and then World Baseball Classic kicks in. We're going to try to do as many Braves games in the day for the first couple hours, and then take a break and bring you the WBC that night. Pitch on the way to Cal Raleigh. That ball is smoked down the left field line. Rattle around in the corner. The big dumper is on with 1-out double. Forgot we still had these clips in here from the playoffs for Seattle and Cleveland, so we'll hit the Cleveland ones. Julio Rodriguez, lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. I don't know what 81 is talking about. You can't forget the NBA, but I feel like most people have the 1-0 swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Their numbers continue to plummet. 1-1 count. They really cut their nose off to spite their face when they expanded the playoffs in basketball as the 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. They let anybody who has a pulse in the playoffs. So the informed fan realized a few years back, I don't have to watch the regular season. I'll just catch the box scores, catch up with the news, and I'll see you in the playoffs. The 2-1 pitch, swing, chops it foul, 2-2. And their playoff numbers have gone down quite a bit, but they're still above hockey, but they've got some good young players in that league. They just haven't been able to market them the right way. I think a lot of people got turned off by some of the antics they pulled several years ago, and a lot of them just haven't come back. The 2-2, swing, slices it foul, we'll do it again. Hey, Velvet, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. 2-2 count. Lefty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Right there at the knees. Man, that was close. Full count. Surprised we didn't get a possible challenge on that. Looking at the replay, I guess it was a little lower than it seemed. Julio Rodriguez is going to take his time out. And remember, with the ABS system, as it will come into play in the regular season for the first time this year, you have to challenge immediately. You don't get a chance to think about it. It's basically a split second as the payoff pitch is swung on. That ball is roped down the left field line. Diving attempt by Keyboom out there underneath his glove in. Cal Raleigh will come home to score, and Seattle takes the early lead. RBI double for Julio Rodriguez. Second hard hit ball down that third base line. Both of them just snuck inside the line. Lefty-righty matchup here. The first pitch on the way.
chopped off the plate, foul. It's 0-1. Tomorrow we got Braves versus Red Sox, 12:45 p.m. first pitch, and all the starters should be in the game. They'll be at home. You got Chris Sale on the mound, so you'll probably get the starters for the bulk of the game. The 0-1 pitch, up top first ball. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Just hits the outside. 2-1. Randy Arozarena batting cleanup today. Luke Raley will follow him. Canzoni batting sixth. Connor Joe seventh as the 2-1 pitch is lifted high and deep into center field. Going back on the track. The ball's going to go off the glove of the center fielder Martinez. And here comes Julio around from third base. They're going to send him home. He will score, and the Mariners have taken a 2-1 lead. Most likely an E8 on that. The ball did hit him in the glove. We'll have to see. Arozarena, you see that a lot in spring training, not just in the Grapefruit League, but in the Cactus League. You got the sun, and then also the wind plays havoc, more so in the Grapefruit League, but that looked like that was a winding wind out there. They're going to have a quick mound visit out there with Cantillo. Be interested to see who comes over for the Red Sox, as they'll be the road team. I'm hoping we see Roman Anthony. A couple of the other guys that they've added to the Red Sox. This will be the last week that you can expect where every team is going to always send their also-rans out there. When you get to where right around the World Baseball Classic starts, you're going to get starters that'll travel a little more often. First pitch on the way is up top to Raley. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. Slices it down the left field line, but foul. It's 0-2. Count. Two to nothing your score. Lefty-lefty matchup. As Cantillo comes set, looks in and brings it. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the high cheese, four-seam fastball, about 94 miles an hour up top. Two down. It looks like we're already going to get a pitching change here. Have to see where he is on the pitch count, but they don't keep very good track of that during the spring, and I'm not seeing it today. So we'll take a real quick break. When we return, bottom of the first, it's a 2-0 score. This is something we are doing new for this year. Let's put it on. Here it is.
Okay, we're back. Took me a little long to find it because I forgot it's only under the Braves broadcast, but there you go. So we're trying those out this year. A little different as a break every once in a while. Obviously won't do a ton of them. There's only 3 to pick from. Canzoni, the batter, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires, swing, chops it. Down the right field line, making the running, sliding catch in right field is Valera, and that'll end the inning. So Cazzera, a F9 your scorecard. That was Stanley that came in to replace Cantillo. We'll be back in a flash. 2-0 your score. Top of the second we go here in the Cactus League.
Hey, does anybody else get anxiety pulling up to new places not knowing the parking situation? Or is it just me?
I did not notice the number was on the stomach side. I did.
What do you mean?
The number down. I didn't notice.
But you didn't know that there was a number there?
Yeah, I haven't noticed all spring.
Keith,
I forget it. Don't pay attention to me. We didn't have a number down there when I played.
Yeah, you did.
We did? No.
Oh yeah.
Really? I know we have a number on our backs.
Is my wife the only person that won't let their significant other fart into
We are not having this discussion again.
their butt?
That is not a normal thing, and the fact
Is it
that you
also
ask
weird?
me that almost every night is so not normal.
Is it also weird that I want to do that just once? It's like CPR for butts.
That's not A.
It's butt
true.
CPR.
And B,
I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for a relationship.
I disagree.
She also won't let me exhale out of my nose into her nose.
This is such a weird
upside
thing.
down.
That's because that's carbon dioxide going straight into my body. You
Like-
exhale carbon dioxide.
like-
I don't inhale carbon dioxide. I inhale oxygen to breathe and live. You know the other thing I won't let you do is pee between my legs while I'm sitting on the toilet. Things the internet
That's a
doesn't need to
normal
know.
thing.
That's not normal.
It is.
In the 60s, I was in college and in graduate school, and baseball didn't have the vitality for me that the civil rights movement did. I got very active, and somehow the events of the world became so important that I didn't feel I had the time to indulge in the luxury of my childhood. It was also because I hadn't yet found the Red Sox and I had lost the Dodgers, so that gap in my love of baseball fit a certain time in history when I was so busy in marches that there wasn't time to sit in baseball games.
Welcome back. 2-0 your score. Jones fires a pitch in there, or Jones at the plate as Miller fires a pitch in there, swing and a miss. 2-0 Seattle. Righty-lefty matchup. Check swing. Did he go around? He did. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Inside, 2-2. Two count, top of the second. 2-0 your score. Deuces wild here in the Arizona Cactus League. Seattle over Cleveland. We're just about to hit the month of March. The 2-2 swing and a miss. Strike three. Nasty pitch by Bryce Miller. One down. So next week, USA plays Friday night and Saturday night. It's Brazil and then Great Britain. I'm pretty sure both games start at 8 o'clock Eastern. Pitch on the way is check swing, bang down the line, foul. It's 0-1. You'll notice we're doing a ton of games during that time period. Worked out my schedule where I'd be able to be here. We'll go over it real quick in the near future. I don't expect you to memorize any of this stuff, but we are putting is the pitch on the way, is swung on and fouled back. Rodriguez knocks it into the seats. Right field side, 0-2. No 2 count. Check swing. 1-2. So one of the things you'll notice is beginning of the week, we're always in the post section that they have now created here on the YouTube channel. You'll see in our post we're going to put the schedule up for the week. And OOT just means out of town. It means it's not the Braves, and BCBB means Braves Country Baseball, because it's too much to put into those, and it wouldn't be very easy to read anyways. The 1-2 swing, that ball's ripped up the middle. That's through for a base hit, and the Cleveland Guardians have one on, one away here. You get themselves going in the top of the second inning. They're going to go out there and they get Miller out of the game already? Seems kind of odd you would even send him out there for the inning if that's all you're going to do. But okay. I know he's had a ton of injury issues. Just strange they would send him back out there again. We'll be back in a flash here on the BCR. We'll run one more of those for those y'all who may not have seen it the first time. Welcome back. 2-0 your score. First pitch on the way, swinging. Hammers the ball down the line. Brito, your batter. It's 0-1. 0-1. Left-handed Brito takes one right there for a strike. It's 0-2. An 0-2 count. Seattle leads Cleveland 2-0. We're in the top of the second inning. The 0-2 is fouled down the line. Pitcher coming in for Seattle is Mendoza. Abdiel Mendoza. The 0-2, that ball swatted back foul. They have him listed as 5'10", 160 pounds. There is no way in hell that's accurate. He would be a rail out there at that number. The 0-2 inside 1-2. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this Abdul Mendoza. I'm assuming they have it right on the screen. The problem is there's no names that you can see from that far away the way it's printed, and he does not have a number, a name on his jersey, excuse me. So a 2-2 count, but I'm going with the idea that you've got it on the TV screen. You also have it on the actual live box scores. That they both can't be wrong. As the 2-2 pops it up high in the sky. Back behind home plate, making the catch is Cal Raleigh. F2 as he goes up against the screen. Behind home plate, 2 down. We've got a lot of foul territory behind home plate for a spring training facility. But 5'10", 160, that kid would be a rail out there, and he looks like just a normal size. I mean, I'm guessing he's somewhere close to 6 feet, but more importantly, he's got to be closer to 200 pounds than 160 pounds. First pitch on the way to Keyboom is swung on and foul back. It's 0-1. Something's not jiving there. Anyways, next week's schedule we're talking about that we will be putting it up in the post. As the first pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's 1-1. On Monday, 1-1 outside wide, 2-1. Monday the 2nd, we have Braves Tigers, 12:45. It's a 2-1 pitch, down and away, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. We're going to be adding some because our schedule got changed up a little bit as a 3-1 swing and a miss, 3-2. I'll be working on that the next couple of days. The schedule will be up by Sunday at the latest, but the games on the 3rd, which is Tuesday, we're not going to be able to do. The Braves are off that day, and I've got to get some stuff done, so we're going to come back to you on Wednesdays. The 3-2 caught looking strike 3, punched him out right there at the knees, and that'll end the inning. Seattle leads it 2-0. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd here in the Cactus League. Mariners, Guardians, 2026 Spring Ball.
Well, I'm absolutely furious because I spent all evening drinking something called Seedlip, which is quite delicious, but it turns out it's non-alcoholic. So I can still feel all my emotions now, and it's 10 o'clock.
Dan, I need to talk to you about me bulking up.
What do you mean bulking up?
Yeah, I've been hitting the gym for a few months, and I need some tubs of protein powder to get bigger, and Mom said she won't buy them without your permission because they're too expensive.
Why are you doing this anyway?
A little bit for me, but I'm trying to impress my girlfriend, too.
What did you tell her?
Why does that matter?
I want to know what you told her. The last time you lied to your girlfriend, you told her you were getting injuries from physical combat until she found out you were kite fighting and getting string burn.
I didn't know there was kite fighting gloves, okay?
With the score tied 9-9 in the bottom of the 9th, and Ralph Terry on the mound for New York, Bill Mazeroski came to bat.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball going deep to left. This may do it. Back to the wall goes Berra. It is over the fence. Home run. The Pirates win.
It was the first time the World Series had ever ended with a home run.
We have seen and shared in one of baseball's great moments.
Bill Mazeroski's home run in 1960. 7 games Pirates in Pittsburgh. We beat them 12-0, 10-0, 16-3. We're into the last inning. We tie it up. Mickey made an amazing base running play, a little head fake, and Bill Mazeroski steps up, and Ralph Terry hangs a slider, and Bill Mazeroski hits it 420 feet, and the Pirates win the World Series. I still heard about it. I still feel bad about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Forbes Field to win the 1960 World Series for the Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 10-9.
It was terrible. I'd been with the Yankees 10 years at that time, and I cried all the way home on the airplane. I just couldn't quit, you know. It's the worst I've ever felt in my life. It's the only time that we ever played in the World Series where I felt like the best team got beat.
Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Lefty-righty matchup here is Connor Joe stands at the plate. Takes the inside pitch to Cantillo. It's 1-0. The 1-0 misses high. Ball 2-2. So it appears that they are going to. So, long story short, we're going to change it up. I may even get it done by today. But originally, that Braves versus the Columbia national team was not supposed to be televised as the 2-0 pitch. Swung on it. Oh, the ball comes out of the glove. It was a grounder over to first base. And Manzardo scooped it up and was heading to get it just a G3 record. The ball pops out of his glove, so it'll be an E3, and Connor Joe stands at first. With nobody out. The Braves are playing Columbia at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. They're off on Tuesday. First pitch on the way is a curveball. That looked well below the zone. We'll see here. We are going to get a challenge, and I do believe this thing's going to get overturned. And, yeah, that thing is about 2 inches below the zone. Just notice that they've started putting how far and how close it was out of the zone on the screen, which is nice. So technically 1.9 inches. The 1-0. Flips it over to first real quick. That might just be a thing for this game. I didn't see that going on in the Braves-Yankees game, but hopefully that'll be available for all the games in the regular season. So I would tend to think, because it's at Cooler Day Park and because they're playing the national team of Columbia, that we'll get a pretty good outing from the Braves. And Cantillo is going to challenge this one. That pitch is outside. 2-0. I said Cantillo, I meant Arroyo. So back-to-back pitches, back-to-back batters, you get the low calls. The 2-0 right down the pipe for a strike to him, 1. It's going to start becoming very evident and obvious to people who have never paid attention to this kind of stuff like I have on what game or what umpires do well and what ones don't, according to the ABS challenge. So the Braves will play Columbia on Wednesday. We will carry that game, even though currently we don't have it up as a card. We're going to switch that out for the Toronto-Canada game. Because with the Braves being off, we're going to try to get some stuff done. The 3-1 pitch, swing, fouls it away, 3-2. Not sure if we're going to do the whole game. We're going to kind of play that by ear, but we'll at least bring you the bulk of the Braves-Columbia game. See if there's anything going on that day and go from there. Full count. Pitch on the way. Outside wide. Ball 4. The runner took off, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a walk, and the Mariners have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Seattle. The first pitch on the way is a slider down and away. It's 1-0. His slider really falls off the table. It's really more like almost like a 2-8 curveball coming out of the southpaw's hand. 1-0. Flips it up there, swing, bangs it foul down the third base line. A lot of foul territory in here, but Fry will give chase and run out of room over there at the third base side. near the dugout. 1-1. Real quick on your out-of-town scoreboard, Pittsburgh leads Minnesota 6-4. They're in the ninth. Toronto 7-6 over Miami in the eighth. The Braves did lose that game 7-3 to the Yankees, as the pitch in the dirt makes it 2-1. Padres and Reds tied at 3 in the third. Colorado 2-1 over San Francisco in the fourth. Texas and the Athletics are scoreless in the third. The 2-1 pitch, swing. Dribbles it up the middle. It's off the glove of Cantillo, and everybody's going to be safe. And you're going to have bases loaded, nobody out. So an error by the first baseman. A walk. And then what will probably be given as an infield single, but the ball went off the glove of the pitcher. If he lets it go, it's going to be a double play. But Cantillo tried to make the play. If he lets it go, it's going to go up the middle, and the shortstop is standing right there ready to turn two. That'll bring Brendan Donovan to the plate. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good on some days. White Sox 4-2 over the Dodgers in the third. Is the pitch right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Milwaukee 2-0 over Texas in the third. Cubs 3-0 over LA Angels in the third. Anaheim Angels. The 0-1. Check swing. And you go around. 0-2. Kansas City, Arizona scoreless. Earlier today, Detroit lost to Baltimore 6-5. Mets blank Houston in the Astros Park 5-0. McLean was on the mound for the Metropolitans. The 0-2 chops it foul. And Houston, in a split squad game, lost to St. Louis on the road. Boston 7-5 over Tampa at home. And the Phillies beat the Nats 7-3. Philly was the home team. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Here it's 2-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Lefty-lefty matchup, bases loaded. Seattle already with the 2-0 lead, and they've got the base loaded, nobody out. Top of the order, Donovan. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. The 1-2, swing, chops it up the middle, and that's going to be a 6-4 put out. Everybody else is going to be safe. The run comes across. And it's 3-0 Mariners. Yeah, Richard, I'm all in favor of you paying for an all expenses trip to a Braves game. Let me know when you want to set that up. First pitch on the way is down below the knees to Cal Raleigh. It's 1-0. 1-0. Outside wide. Called for a strike, 1-1. Cal Raleigh ripped a double down the line his first time up. Came around to score. 60 home runs last year. It should have been the MVP in the American League. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. And I know all the Yankee fans and Judge supporters are going to say, well, he had record numbers as a hitter, et cetera, and they point to all these different metrics. Okay, I get it. But when you hit 60 home runs as a catcher, a switch-hitting catcher, and you caught the majority of the games, because Cal Raleigh's rarely DHing. Is a 2-1 right there for a strike. Teardrop curveball. It's absurd that they did not vote him the MVP. And it's going to be one of those historical type of awards that people will always be able to point back on and go, that was ridiculous. The same thing in, what was it, 90... God, was that 95? Chipper Jones didn't get the Rookie of the Year because of Hideo Nomo, which was ridiculous. Hideo Nomo was already a professional player on the highest level in Japan. What it came down to is that ball's knocked down the line, foul, 2-2. What it came down to was back in 1995, and I remember this, the writers that voted for the MVP. The 2-2 swing, pops it up, high into right field. That should score the run at third. So F9 in your scorecard, a sac fly RBI for the big dumper, and it's 4-0 Seattle. But when they did the votes in 95, the writers that voted for either Chipper or Hideo Nomo, they did not respect the Japanese professional league. So they looked at him being a rookie because, he played professionally in Japan, but this is his first year in the bigs. They didn't respect it, not knowing the history of Japanese professional baseball, none of that. Looks like we're going to get another pitching change, so we'll stay right here with you. Glad we got a time limit on this one because they're going out there making 2 pitching changes an inning. Whoa! They're going to play this game till midnight. But it was absolutely absurd in 95 when they did that because Chipper was a rookie. And Hideo Nomo was damn near 30 years old. And yeah, he pitched well and it was impressive. But give him MVP votes or Cy Young votes. Don't give him Rookie of the Year. He shouldn't have been eligible, is my point. I think nowadays people understand that the Japanese league and the Korean league, et cetera, all throughout the world, they're a lot better than what the common fan realized back 30 years ago. So remember, they've been playing professional baseball in Japan for decades at that point. Hell, Babe Ruth used to go over there on barnstorming tours in the 1930s and 40s. 4-0 your score, bottom of the second, 2 outs. Got a pitching change coming on. Julio Rodriguez is at the plate. That's still always going to bother me that Chipper Jones didn't get the Rookie of the Year. The real world heavyweight MVP. Heavyweight MVP, are you talking about most valuable player, or are we still talking about baseball when you say heavyweight MVP? I'm not quite sure what you were saying there, Wesley. Julio Rodriguez comes to the plate, 1 on, 2 outs, righty-righty matchup, 4-0 your score. First pitch is outside wide for a ball, it's 1-0. Or are you referring to boxing? Because I haven't followed boxing since they started charging $100 a match. The 1-0, swing and a miss, it's 1-1. I used to be a huge boxing fan. That has been a long time ago because once you started having to, just like the UFC stuff, once they got to where you had to pay big time money every time you wanted to see an event, is the 1-1 outside wide, 2-1. I just knew I wouldn't keep up with it. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that every single, 1 to 2 times a month. If you're a boxing or if you're a UFC fan, you have to lay down heavy dough as the pitch is down and in. I guess my theory was back then, as much as I love boxing, and of course it's changed a little bit now, but my theory back then was I get enough sports on what I already paid for on cable, etc., or DirecTV, or whatever I had at the time, is the 3-1. Up high, ball 4, and Julio Rodriguez will head on down to first. First and second, 2 outs. That'll bring Randy Arozarena to the plate. But the way I always looked at it was, why am I going to pay? I think when they first started doing it, I feel like it's actually calmed down a little bit. But we were typically paying anywhere between $59 to $69 a month if there was only one fight a month. Is the first pitch on the way, swing and a miss, it's 0-1. So in the mid to late 90s, we'd have friends that we all worked with, and we would all chip in and buy one big fight every once in a while. We weren't doing it every month. Then the UFC came along, and it was like every month they were doing that. The 0-1, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. And I know a lot of people love the UFC, but more power to you, because that is an expensive habit. The 0-2 count. Richard says, like, paper. Well, yeah, there's no way in hell I was going to pay for wrestling. The 0-2, swing, fouls it away. Paying, $70, $80 for a soap opera is wild. I mean, that is just... And I've had friends over the years that have been into it, but I just don't get the attraction. The 0-2, swing, fouls it away. 0-2 count, runners on first and second, 2 outs, and everybody's got their guilty pleasures. If you like wrestling, that's fine, but it's fake. So how are you possibly? Because that's literally like paying $100 to see a movie. The 0-2 count, swing, broken bat, pops it up, and that should be playable. Can of corn just past the infield. F4 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. But not before Seattle takes a 4-0 lead. We'll head to the top of the third here in the Cactus League. Seattle versus Cleveland.
Would you rather get $100,000 every year, or every year you get 1 month where you can see every winning scratch-off ticket? You don't know what it wins, and you still have to buy it. It could be a ticket, it could be a jackpot, but you know that it's a winner. Which one you taking? The easy hundo, $1,000 a year, dude, or you gambling man like me? I'm taking the ticket, dude. I don't know, but $100,000 for sure every year. That's like most people's salary. That's like more than most people's salary, dude. That's way more than my salary, dude. Or you can get kicked in the nuts by a field goal kicker. Those are your 3 options, dude.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, the 1960 World Champions, defeat the New York Yankees. The Pirates 10 and the Yankees 9.
There is one thing that all my friends know must never be discussed in my presence, and that's Bill Mazeroski's home run that won the 1960 World Series. We're a grossly overmatched Pittsburgh Pirates team against my beloved Yankees. And there's a wonderful resolution that many people don't realize. It's one of the great ironies of baseball history, but these things happen. That 2 years later, in the 7th game of the World Series in 1962, with the Yankees ahead by 1 run in the bottom of the last inning with 2 men on base, Ralph Terry was on the mound again, facing Willie McCovey. Willie McCovey hits a line drive that seemed sure to go for a hit, and Terry would have lost yet another World Series. Richardson jumps up, stabs the line drive, and they win that one. So there is resolution, there is rejuvenation, there is reward and victory after tragedy.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. 4-0 your score. We're going to the top of the 3rd inning. Seattle over Cleveland. Cleveland at the bat. Genoa versus Criswell. Criswell gets an 0-2 count. The 0-2, check swing, bangs it foul towards the third base dugout. Yeah, Charlie had a good point at the break. He said, and then you buy the fight and it's knocked out in the first round or whatever. I mean, I can remember that being a sticking point for people as the 0-2 pitch is chopped over towards second base. It's going to be a 4-3 putout. Good defensive play over there by Arroyo. He was throwing against the grain there, heading towards the third base side and had to fire it to first. Righty-lefty matchup now as we go back to the top of the order. Martinez, the batter. First pitch on the way to Martinez. It's up top for a strike. It's on 1. Angel Martinez. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. So if you remember an Angel Martinez that played in the 1990s with Toronto, a little bit with Florida and Montreal, he finished his career with Cleveland and Boston. This is his son. 1-2, misses in 2-2. Sandy Martinez, who was born in the DR, Dominican Republic, played from 1995 to 2004. One of these guys that was basically a backup his whole career, backup catcher, is the payoff pitch in the dirt. Ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. He probably got a ring, the dad did, even though he played sparingly, as the first pitch on the way is swung on and chopped through the infield, to the left side. They were playing him to pull on the right, and it's going to be a one-out single for Valera in Cleveland, and that'll bring Fry to the plate. The chance to put some on the board. First and second, one out. I was looking to see if he was on any championship teams. So he just missed being on the Toronto championship teams. He just missed in between getting one in Florida. But the 2004 season, he finished the last half. Not only played in 4 games, but he was on that. He was on the roster at some point in the season and would have been in that historic 2004 championship team. Most of the time, these guys will end up getting a ring, especially when it's a historic one like that. I know the Braves gave a ton of rings away to guys that you just wouldn't even like, what? He was on, why the hell is he getting a ring? He had 2 at-bats in September. The 0-1 count. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. 0-2. I've often wondered, so, like, does an everyday starter get the same ring that one of the, as the 0-2 misses high and outside, 1-2. So in 2021, I think it's someone like Spencer Strider, who pitched very sparingly in September for the team, but was not on the playoff roster, as the 1-2 misses high, 2-2. Did he get the same exact ring that Ozzie Albies got? Or Freddie Freeman or whoever? As if so, man, that's a hell of a deal. The 2-2, swing, chops it foul. Or do they have a secondary ring? Now, I don't think they give you like the Bobo ring like they give out to the crowd. I've got one of those in here somewhere when we went to watch the ring ceremony. I think it was the second game of the season against, I know it was Saturday, so it could have been the third game of the season, the 2-2 pitch. Swing up the middle, L6 in your scorecard, and either going to double up the runner at second, so a double play gets Seattle out of the inning. We'll be back here in a flash. Bottom of the third we go. 4-0. Mariners over the Guardians.
If Earth is the third planet from the sun, doesn't that mean that every country is a third world country?
I've become, maybe to a fault at times, because I still question myself, is I'm so much about the person now, you know? And I remember like Pat Gillick telling me, being the Blue Jays GM, when he started, and he was 70% talent, 30% makeup character, and then over time, it was 60-40. And I got to tell you, I feel like I've gone to like 55-45 talent, makeup character. So then you start doing work on the person, on the teammate, on the guy. People say they're great competitors, but sometimes it's talk. I'm a big believer, especially being a parent now, players make others better. I've seen it. Took a while to see it, but I see it. A coach can only do so much, a manager can only do so much, but peers can really impact. I think about it with my kids, who they're around is an impact as well. So you fill a clubhouse, instead of having two guys like a Blanco and a DeRosa, I've kind of flipped that. I'm like, you better have like 24 or 25 and maybe one or two that are on the border of pass-fail, to me.
Armchair.
Curt Flood of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss.
The glare is that I don't particularly like you, and I am going to beat you any way I can. It is concentration of trying to block out 50,000 people either for you or against you. It is trying to remember all of the things that make you a good hitter and trying to make them go into action immediately, right now. I need it right now in order to do this against this great pitcher. He's a major leaguer too, so you have to give him credit. Incredible things go on inside your head.
Curt Flood went on to become a solid 300 hitter, the best defensive center fielder in the game, winning 7 consecutive Gold Glove awards.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way, righty-lefty matchup as we start off the bottom of the third inning. Luke Raley takes one high and out of the zone from David Festa. It's 1-0. Kicks on fire, swing. That ball's hammered into right center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows, up against the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Raley. And it's a leadoff double for the Tridents. Ball was scalded in between the 8-9 hole up against the wall. That'll bring Canzone to the plate. Dan Canzone 0 for 1 with the line out to right. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss up top. It's on 1. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Cleveland. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Seattle. We're here in the third inning. 4-0 your score. The 0-1 pitch is popped up down the left field line, foul territory. It'll stay in play. And making the catch over there is Keyboom, and it's F5 in your scorecard. 1 away. One up, 1 down. Pitch on the way is a sweeper up top. Hanging sweeper to Connor Joe. It's 0-1. Joe reached on an error his first time up. Swing, chops it up the middle, over towards second base, and that's going to be a 4-3 putout. 2 down on the play. Raley will head on down to third, but there are 2 outs. White Sox lead the Dodgers 4-3 in the fourth. They're in the Cactus League play as well. Weather out here today at Peoria Sports Complex, 84 degrees, wind about 2 miles an hour. So beautiful day for baseball here in the Cactus League. First pitch to Arroyo. Righty up top for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. That looked like that may have hit the zone. The pitch. Check swing inside. Ball 2-2. I've noticed so if you ever do the game day experience, is the 2-0 pitch inside, 3-0. So they have a strike zone essentially off to the side, and it tells you if the ball's in or out and all that kind of stuff. We keep it in the background just to verify certain things. Here in the spring training, it's hit or miss on whether or not it's even halfway accurate. The 3-0 right there for a strike, 3-1. A little more accurate when I look at my different scoreboards I have up, and they have the game cast on it. But the one that they bring to you on MLB is just the 3-1 swing and a miss, 3-2. That first ball was on the inner track, and it was posted on the outer edge and in the strike zone. 3-2. Caught looking, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So 4-0 your score. We'll go to the fourth here in the Cactus League. Cleveland will grab the bats when we return.
In Spanish?
Yes.
Gracias todos para los... I don't know how to say compliments.
No?
Compliments.
But these super berries grow in the Andes Mountains, okay? Alpacas can survive entire winters on this.
So it's like a super berry, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what kind of superpowers are you talking about? Like, do you survive the winter?
Great question.
So is that the only superpower you get, surviving winters? Because I've survived many winters without these berries.
No,
These are the people that are banned from my funeral. Don't let Bertha in. She tried to hook up with my husband. Shame on her. My mailman can't come either. He's the worst ex I ever had. And I know he's going to try to go to my funeral. His sister can't come either. I'm going to haunt them all.
The greatness of Ty Cobb was something that had to be seen, and to see him was to remember him forever. George Sisler.
On April 27, 1961, Tyrus Raymond Cobb threw out the first ball at the opening home game of the brand new Los Angeles Angels. It was his last visit to a ballpark. He was 74 years old and dying of cancer. Drinking, gambling, quarreling with waiters and taxi drivers and sales clerks. He stayed on the road as long as he could, carrying with him everywhere a Luger and a paper bag filled with $1 million in securities, and each day swallowing a quart of bourbon mixed with milk to dull the pain. He died on July 17th, 1961. His lifetime batting average was .367. The highest in history. If I'd had my life to live over again, he had told a caller toward the end, I'd have done things a little different. I would have had more friends.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Criswell is back out on the bump, and Zardo will lead off the Cleveland Guardians. It'll be Mazzardo, Jones, and Rodriguez, so the 4, 5, and 6 hitter, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way to Criswell is up high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. 1-0. Right down the pipe. Looks like the sinker up top. Cooper Criswell, 1-1. It's from Carrollton, Georgia, so he's from Braves country. 1-1. High to him. Cooper Criswell, 6'6", 200-pounder. Played his college ball for the North Carolina Tar Heels. He was drafted by the Angels in 2018 as the 2-1 misses, 3-1. The 13th round drafted by the Angels. You're most likely to remember him more as the 3-1 inside, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And it's a leadoff walk for Cleveland. You're most likely to remember Criswell from the Boston Red Sox in 2024. 18 games, 99 innings, and a 4.08 ERA. First pitch is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. But 18 starts, 26 appearances. Last year he had just 7 starts, or 7 appearances, 1 start, mainly coming out of the pen. And a 3.57 ERA. He was with the Angels briefly in 2021. He just pitched 1 inning. And he was with the Tampa Bay Rays in 22 and 23, but his real success has come past couple of seasons, mainly 2024 with the Bo Sox. We'll see the Boston Red Sox tomorrow here on the BCR. Four nothing your score, top of the fourth. Pitch right there, up top. That'll even up the count, 1-1. The 1-1. Misses. Ball 2, 2-1. 2-1 count. Good to see you, Raymond. 2-1's fouled back, 2-2. Chris Sale on the mound tomorrow versus the Boston Red Sox, his old team, where he won the 2018 World Series with them. Is the pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Noah Jones chases one off the plate. Strikeout, no way. And it looks like there's a good chance old Chris Sale is going to retire as an Atlanta Brave. Signed that extension the other day, taking him through the 2027 season as the pitch on the way is swung on and chopped over the right side of the infield. Criswell slipped off the mound. Royal grabs it, flips it to first. 4-3 in your scorecard. Runner at first moves to second. But there are 2 down. Criswell appears to be okay. He did grab at his hamstring. That might have been just the hamstring areas he was trying to catch his balance. So he appears to be okay. Righty-lefty matchup now. Brito, the batter. We do have some night games, by the way, Raymond. You're talking about getting in home in time. We do have some night games coming up for the BCR. As the first pitch on the way for a strike, it's only 1. Not just the WBC. I know I've seen one where the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Braves are playing an evening game we've already signed up for. They're few and far between in spring training, but we do have some signed up. And, of course, the WBC will have a ton of night games. Pitch on the way is down and away. 2-1. WBC gets started for us next Friday, March 6th, and we'll go all the way to the championship game on March 17th. 1-1 to Brito. 2 down. Runner at second. Inside. Spins him backwards. 2-1. Braves had the Glee Club in today. They lost to the Yankees 7-3 if you're just catching up. The 2-1. Swing, lifts it. High and deep into right field. Is that going to leave? Holy Toledo, that ball is gone. And the Cleveland Guardians have cut this lead in half. It's 4-2. ball over the right center field wall. First pitch swinging by Keevan, fouls it away. It's 0-1. Man, that is a long home run. that must have been the postseason home run clip that we had. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and lifted high and deep into right field. Is this ball going to leave? It will not. Making the running catch in right field is Canzone, and that'll end the inning. But not before Cleveland puts 2 on the board, cuts the lead in half. It's 4-2. Guardians and Mariners here in the Cactus League.
Sick of you bitches getting pregnant, making us wait 9 months to know what that damn baby's name is, like it's a Kardashian or something. And then that little Grinch comes out and it's like, oh, welcome to the world, McKinley, Anna, Nevaeh, Ray Dunn, Hobart Lobert Jr. We love you so much.
Let me tell you something right now. I never skied in my life, and after today, I'm retired. I couldn't even make it, what do they call it, the bunny slope? There was toddlers skiing better than my 26 nearly year old ass. Long story short, I'm out of commission right now. I only agreed to the skiing part of this because there's a bar in the facility, and I heard they make some hot chocolate infused with like Baileys and vanilla vodka. I'm gonna see what the that's about, because there's no shot in hell I'm suiting back up. No, definitely herniated a disc or fractured my tailbone.
Until the 50s, the closer role as we know it was a bit undefined. But the evolution took a big step when Hoyt Wilhelm, as manager, realized he had a diamond in the pen.
Where the short reliever really started.
Hoyt Wilhelm was the greatest knuckleball pitcher that I ever saw.
Majeski strikes out on Wilhelm's darting knuckler.
It's very hard to control the knuckleball, and Wilhelm could. He could throw his knuckleball for strikes, and there weren't many guys that could do that.
Hoyt could also throw his knuckleball every day. In his very first season, he piled up so many innings, he qualified for the ERA title without making a start.
Knuckleball relief ace checked into his 1,000th big league ball game.
If he pitched in the game of baseball today, he could pitch in all 162.
And became the first ever reliever inducted into the Hall of Fame.
My favorite part of the holiday season, the holiday employee get together. If you work in the service industry, you know what's about to go down, and you should be excited too.
Welcome back. First pitch swinging by Emerson, the number 9 hitter for the Seattle Mariners. Lifts a high fly ball into center field. That'll be an easy F8 your scorecard. 1 down. We'll be back on the call tomorrow for the Braves and Red Sox, and then back to it on Monday. Got some stuff I got to get taken care of this weekend. We won't be around to do the calls, but trying to get all this stuff out of the way before the season starts. As the first pitch on the way is inside for a ball, it's 1 out. And as you can imagine, my wife is very understanding, letting me do every game of the Braves throughout the year. So we don't get to see each other on a lot of Sundays in the regular season. So we're going to try to spend time with her, but once the season gets rolling, it's going to be a blur for me as the 1-1 down and away, 2-1. Bringing you over 300 games this year on the BCR. The spring training games, the WBC, and then we go every Braves game, which is 162, and then somewhere between 50 and 75 out-of-town games. The 2-1 pitch swing drops it into center field, and that's down for a base hit, and 1-out single for Brendan Donovan, top of the order. Good piece of hitting there by the ex-St. Louis Cardinal. That'll bring Cal Raleigh to the plate. So somewhat, because we're gonna, there's typically about 26 weeks in Major League Baseball is the first pitch is right there for a strike. It's on the line. And we're going to have somewhere between 2 to 3 double headers a week in the out-of-town broadcasts. It's going to end up being closer to 75. Because we kind of somewhat mapped it out as the 0-1. Lifts it high and deep down the left field line. Going back on the track. Is that a fair ball? That is. That's going to get into the corner. And the big dumper has 2 doubles. And Donovan will come home to score. And the Seattle Mariners are taking a 3-run lead. It's 5-2. Raleigh now 2 for 2, batting .333 in the postseason, in the spring training. Excuse me. And then on top of that, once we hit October, talking about the schedule, we'll be going wall to wall like we did last year. And then new for this year as well is the first pitch on the way to Julio Rodriguez, bounces it over to short. Long throw, but a good throw by Genoa to Manzardo. 6-3 in your scorecard, 2 down. We're going to do a little more football than what we did this past year. We did a decent amount this past season, but we're going to do a little more. Pitch on the way to Randy Rosarena, smack foul off his instep. We'll let him stretch that one out. It's 0-1. The 0-1. They're taking a look at a Rosarena. He's gingerly flexing his right knee, I believe, is where that ball might have gotten him. Right around that area. Or at least that's where he was flexing, and now he's pointing towards his foot, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if that double banged him or what, but he appears to be okay enough to stay in. The bumps and bruises of spring training. Infield is back into the left. Well manicured infield here in the Cactus League. The pitch on the way. Chopper back to the mound. And a good play out there by Heron. That'll end the inning. 1-3 in your scorecard. 5-2 Seattle. Cleveland grabs the sticks when we return here in the Cactus League on the BCR.
So I was today years old when I found out that when you're smiling, you cannot move your tongue. It cuts off a nerve when you smile. So when you smile, like your tongue is like paralyzed. Look at your dumb ass. You doing that right? Stupid ass.
Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
And so my girl got mad at me because last night I went to a single mom fundraiser.
No, you went to a strip club.
Listen, baby, I'm supporting these single moms $1 at a time.
Fight! Mike! Pay out! Shake your head! Your eyeballs are stuck! Well, it was a ball. It was that far from the plate.
Little lady, will you let me umpire this game? You've been on my back all night.
Mickey, you saw that pitch. It was a ball, wasn't it?
It looked like it. You're out of the game, Mandel.
What? Roger, how'd that pitch look to you?
It could have missed the corner. You're out, Maris.
Yogi.
It's a perfect strike. The ump was right. I don't like sarcasm, Barra. You're out of the game, too.
You can't do that!
Lady.
Where's the manager?
I think he's hiding.
Welcome back, Casey Logamina. I'm guessing on that pronunciation. Right-hander coming on to pitch for the Seattle Mariners. Hey, by the way, did y'all see Max Scherzer finally signed? He ended up going back to the Toronto Blue Jays. I never saw the numbers on it, just saw that he signed. They weren't announcing the numbers at the time they mentioned it. I was wondering where he was going to end up. I was just praying it wasn't Atlanta. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's on. It's not as much that I don't want him on the Braves because of his abilities. The 0-1 chops it over to first. That'll be an easy 3-1 put out as Joe feeds the pitcher. One away. But whatever you pay him, to me, is too much. I think he's long past cooked. And then the other thing is, I don't like his personality. You know, it all stems back to the last CBA when he was the leader of the pack. And I was hoping he was retiring and going to step away from the whole damn thing. And he'll probably still be there this next offseason, sticking his beak in there. The 0-1 count to Martinez is swung on and popped up high into right field, coming in, making the easy catch. F9 your scorecard. Quickly 2 down. Five to 2 your score. Seattle leads Cleveland. We're in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. First pitch on the way, swinging. Man, this is going to be a quick inning if that ball stays fair. Down the line, giving chase is Kansas. He's going to run out of room. That'll bang foul. Gave it a ride, but plenty foul. Not quite deep enough for a home run, but it was right there. The 1-1 off the plate. To him. 2-1 count. Charlie, what happened to her phone? Do you know? You said the port was messing up. Is that your? The 2-1 pitch. Up top. 2-2. I thought maybe it melted from all that AI. He's always messing around with that AI stuff. We're gonna get another challenge here, and that was gonna be called a strike, so it was confirmed it's 2-2. I just noticed T-Mobile is the one that's advertising for the ABS challenge, the 2-2. Punched him out, caught looking. That'll end the inning. Top of the 5th. Ends with nothing on the board. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-2 Seattle. Mariners will grab the bats here in the Cactus League when we come back.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Suspect claims to eat healthy but won't touch a vegetable. Not a single one. Not a single vegetable.
Suspect wanted to be in the NBA, but instead he's 5'9" and has asthma.
Okay. Going like that, huh? Suspect was the cutest little boy in 3rd grade.
My mom made me have that haircut. Suspect needs to start No Shave November in January.
Oh! Okay. Suspect doesn't know I sold her Apple Watch 2 weeks ago.
I need that.
Do you?
I like my coffee like I like my men. It's not great, but I can fix it.
When you get into a lull, you never admit you're in a slump. Don't ever let a pitcher tell you you're in a slump. I would tell people you do one of 6 things when you get into a lull. You know what they are?
Yeah.
Okay?
No, tell me.
Closer to the plate, further away from the plate, up in the box, back in the box, choke up in the bat more, choke down in the bat more. Make it heavier, make it lighter. Never change your swing. Your swing got you to the big leagues. You change your positioning in the batter's box. Curveball's getting to you. Move up on it. You're not getting to it. Move up, move back on it. They're jamming you. Move away from the plate because what they do, everybody charts every game that you play nowadays. And you're not going to go 0 for 20, Frank, and have 15 at bats where you're pulling the ball and 5 where you're hitting it over first base. You're going to develop a pattern. And you make your adjustments based on the pattern that you developed over 20 at bats. And if you're swinging and missing, you're pulling off. Hit the ball right back up the middle. You can't pull off, you hit the ball right back up the middle.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio with Mac McGee, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Yeah, y'all talking about those ports, those charging ports on the phone is the first pitch on the way. Luke Raley's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Avila is now in the ball game as the pitcher for Cleveland as Seattle leads us 5-2, bottom of the 5th. Pedro Avila. The 0-1. This is 1-1. Did not pitch in the major leagues in 2025. Was with Cleveland on the tail end of 24. Battling injury. More well known as days in the San Diego bullpen where he's there for 5 years prior to going to Cleveland. Pitch is a swing and a miss. So a 1-2 count. Every phone I've ever had, I mean, I'm talking about ever since they created the smartphones, is the 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. I always have a problem with the charging port. And I would say most of it's my fault because I'll get up in a hurry or whatever or sit down and try to put it into the port, and eventually after wear and tear it just doesn't connect as the 2-2. Swung on, lifted. Down the line, foul coming over, making the over-the-shoulder backhanded catch, running down the line from third base is keeping him, man. He's made a couple of nice defensive plays out there. That was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. He had a long way to go and a short time to get there, and he was in left field in the foul territory by the time he made that catch on the dead sprint. But that's why now the only thing I buy are the ones that have the magnets on the back. Pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's on one. The phone that I have now, technically I can use the port, but it's iffy. But it doesn't matter because I ended up, shortly after I got this last phone, I was like, man, I'm so sick and tired of this. Having to jiggle the cord and all that. So I've got them all over the house now. I like the ones that lay down. I do have the ones that stand up. The ones that lay down are so much better because you just don't have to. Say it doesn't drop my damn phone. There's the 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Sitting down here in the office, and I've got one that sits next to me so I can check stats and all that kind of stuff. And it's magnetic and it sits up and it's elevated. It's not like the kind that sit down almost like a V shelf. And if you don't hit it just right, the thing will fall off. The 0-2 count. Swing, rips it high into the center field. That ball's going to fall. Tried to make the catch, but it looks like he trapped it, and he did, and it's going to be a one-out single for Canzone. Good piece of hitting there. Yeah, I don't see any difference either, Rich. I don't see any difference between plugging it in with a wire and doing the wireless charging. I would assume it probably has to do with what brand of charger you get. But most of mine are really, really affordable, and I find them on Amazon 99% of the time. I bet, Rich. First pitch on the way. It's Connor Joe's right there on the outer edge. For a strike, it's 0-1. And then the other obvious reason why I ended up messing up my charger is because you drop it in the pool after a couple of brewskis. The 0-1 count. Swing. Dribbles it up the middle. 6, 4, 3. Rally killing, inning-ending double play. So we'll be back in a flash. Probably the last frame will go. Cleveland will grab the sticks. When we return, here in the Cactus League, the Mariners lead it 5-2.
When somebody asks me if I'm having a good day, I just got to ask myself 3 questions, brother. 1, am I alive? I usually am. 2, am I in the land of the free? I usually am, baby. And 3, do I feel the smiling spirit of George Washington gazing down upon me from the great pearly land of the free in the sky? Brother, there ain't a moment that goes by that I don't feel that. And when I add up that math, makes me realize there are no bad days in the land of the free, baby.
I have a bunch of jokes about unemployed people, but unfortunately, none of them seem to work.
If you're on your phone and your wife asks you if you're texting one of your floozies, say yes. Then send her a text that says, "What's up?" After she backtalks, say, "See, this is why you're not my main girl."
The two friends were called up in mid-season and began contributing right away. Sherry as the team's top reliever and Wills as its new spark plug.
He started getting hits. He hit the balls up the middle, ground balls to the left side. Every now and then a line drive. I said, how wonderful. I mean, this guy had struggled all this time, and now he's got that hitting down right.
Covered a lot of ground at shortstop. I mean, go to his left, go deep in the hole a lot. He can run like a deer.
The new Dodger shortstop, Wills, a lifesaver for the Dodgers.
With his speed, he created a different atmosphere when he got on base. He changed the whole club.
Wills beat opposing teams with his legs, and Sherry beat them with his iron will.
Anytime you talk to Larry, don't worry about it. I can take care of it. Larry had determination. Larry had a belly full of guts. Larry was out there to beat you.
And he had a slider, hit that outside corner, and you swung the ball, wasn't there anymore.
He would come in and just shut the other team down in crucial moments.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark.
Welcome back. Cole Wilcox, the right-hander, coming in for Seattle. We'll take you to the top of the hour, the end of this inning, whichever comes first. Half inning. As our radio stations will end up cutting us off, so we'll be back at it tomorrow as the first pitch right there to Huff. Righty-righty matchup right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Huff coming in for Fry, so the substitutions have already began as the 0-1 outside wide 1-0. Taylor is in for Connor Joe. Soybill at third base came in for Donovan. 1-1 count. Swing, slaps it down the first base side, but foul into the right field corner. 5-2, top of the 6th. Seattle leads Cleveland. Cleveland at the plate, nobody out. The 1-2. 12:45 tomorrow. Braves versus Red Sox. We'll have the whole 9 yards there. The 1-2. Outside wide. 2-2. We'll be adding to Braves Country Today comes your way Saturday at noon, but we'll be adding to the broadcast on the weekend hits. I have time to make the links. Is the 2-2 outside wide, 3-2. Full count. Just outside. Ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. Righty-lefty matchup, check swing foul to Manzardo towards the third base dugout. It's 0-1. Raymond, my best advice would be to get the wireless charger off of Amazon because they're usually pretty good. The 0-1, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. But I mean, if you're at Walmart and you see a good deal on them, what the hell? 0-2 count. I like the flat ones that just sit on the back of your phone because you can lay it pretty much anywhere unless you're going to have a designated spot like at your work desk, then get one of the ones that stand up that have an actual stand to it. The 0-2 count. Swing, chops it foul. But it's also because the ones that lay flat that have the wire connected to the magnet, you can pick that phone up and scroll around and still be charging the phone. But if that thing's set on the stand, you're not going to leave it on the stand. Is the 0-2 inside? 1-2. The only time Raymond goes to Walmart is around Christmas. I don't know the last time I went to Walmart. It's got to be, I don't know how many years. My guess is 2 years. The 1-2, swing, chops it up the middle, and that's going to be a tough play. They're going to take the easy out and go to first. 6-3 in your scorecard. They were playing the infield on a shift. The runner was almost at second base, so to get him, the shortstop who cut across second base would have had to stop and dive at him, and that could have been a disaster. So he gets the easy out. Runner at second, one out. That'll bring Noah Jones to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Jones is just off the plate. It's 1-0. 1-0. I can imagine that. The 1-0, swing lifted, high down the right field line, drifting, making the catch in the corner at the 340 sign in right field is Canzone. And the runner at second will move to third, but there are 2 outs. I think we went on a trip or something, and we went to Walmart. The only way I go is if my wife drives me. I would never choose to go to Walmart. That ended about 5 years ago or so when I just finally had my fill of just elbows touching everywhere, just banging into each other. I was like, man, this is just miserable. Pitch on the way is outside wide for a strike. It's 0-1. We had the 24-hour Walmarts everywhere. When I was younger, I would go in after work from time to time, but typically it's just, you're just asking for trouble going there. You're going to spend way too much money. The 0-1. Outside wide, 1-1. 1-1 count. And I have not been to a mall like what you would call an actual mall since I believe it was the winter of 2018. The 1-2, fouls it away. Remember going there specifically to get something for a Christmas present for my mom specifically. You had to go to that store. You couldn't get it online or whatever. And that was it, man. I got it, and I was like, I'm never coming back here again, this area again, because it was just a nightmare. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. And that'll end our broadcast for all those y'all in Radio Land. We'll see you tomorrow here on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:45. First pitch, Braves and Red Sox. And it'll be Chris Sale Day. And we should get our entire starting lineup tomorrow because the game is at Cool Today Park. We'll see you next time. Great seeing y'all, great chatting with y'all. And as always, go baseball.